Hey there, and welcome to a quick screencast on how to optimize your resume. Resumes are so important because this is the first piece of collateral that's able to show employers a little bit about you, and we want to make sure that you have something that's optimal that really represents you well. Welcome to a quick screencast on how you can optimize your resume. So, here are the things that I think are very important to remember when it comes to making a good resume. You have about 3 to 5 seconds to really capture the attention of the hiring manager. So you want to make sure that everything on your resume is relevant to the position. You know, resumes in a way are like content marketing pieces, except in this sense, you are the product and this is how you're marketing yourself. These 6 points, I think, are the foundation to making sure that you're going to reach your persona well. Okay, so here's an example that we'll look at. Let me go ahead and click onto the link. Okay, so at first glance, you can see that this resume is relatively structured well. You have your profile, your education, experience, and so on. And on top of that, Sally, our friend Sally here, is bolding everything that she wants the hiring manager to see in the first 3 to 5 seconds, so that it would entice the hiring manager to go in and say, okay, I want to know more about Sally Ford. Starting from the top, I mean, everything here is easy to understand, easy to see. You know her name, contact information, awesome. Then a profile. The profile here is pretty strong because she's saying, hey, this is my years of experience. This is what you need to know about me at the get-go. I have skills in social media, experience analytics. One thing I'm thinking that she's missing is a forward-looking statement. So she's not telling the reader what she would like to do for their company. You should say all these things, and it's like, I would like to do XYZ for your company, and so we can grow and become even more successful together. So things like that. Of course, that sounds super cheesy. You can totally mix it, but that's the idea you want to go after. And then this, I think that is awesome. She's linking to her blog and website. Personally, I prefer the link to your portfolio to be up here with all your contact information. But that's what I think is right. It doesn't necessarily be. I think that this is pretty clean. So let's move on. Education, straight to the point. A lot of times I see people put relevant coursework. I don't know if that is a powerful indicator here for you, unless it was like a digital marketing course where you learn inbound marketing or content marketing. If it's just your typical marketing courses, I don't think you should waste your precious white space on that. Experience. This is one of my favorite things. Sally is showing a good representation of what she did at Saunders. Here, increased sales by 78% in 6 months. Time frame, impact, and then the question I have now is like, how did you do that? Oh, by designing partnerships, website, launching a blog, implementing a low-cost SEM campaign. Fantastic. That's great. It's relevant, it's full of context, and I'm impressed. So, she follows this through. I think that you should really shoot for descriptions like this. Tell the reader what you did, how you did it, what relevant tools you used, what the overall impact was. So that's fantastic. Technical skills. Let's take a look at this. Usually, this is where some of the fillers come in. Fillers meaning things that people just put on their resume to just fill white space. So personally, I don't think that Microsoft Office, Mac, and Windows are really important to put on there. It's sort of a given. And if you're going to do anything with Office, usually in marketing, we focus on Excel. We know that if you know Excel, then everything else falls into place. And when I say know Excel, I'm talking about basic pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, custom functions like that. So I would say, if you know Excel, put it on there. Otherwise, take off Office. And then Mac and Windows, it's a given. So make sure that your technical skills are relevant. Photoshop, HTML, those are all cool. Okay, so that's a quick run through of a resume. If you have questions, we can touch base on that later on by either sending me a message or joining a possible webinar here in the near future. So going back to the slide deck, this is a framework that I share with you real quickly when we look through Sally's resume example. So the framework that you should be in is Tell the person what you did, how you did it, what relevant tools you use, and the overall aggregate impact. And so let's try it out. Let's dig a little deeper so you really develop this mindset. I came up with 3 quick examples for you so that we can walk through these exercises together so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Usually I see applicants have these kind of descriptions in their resume. Ran company's social media accounts, managed company's website, operated Salesforce CRM to manage customer data. As a hiring manager, I'm thinking, wait, what platforms did you manage on social media? And how effective was it? And did you run it, using best practices in the industry, using Hootsuite and Buffer, or did you just kind of post on a whim? I need more context, right? So you have here compare and contrast, right? So the first point there is what we had before, ran company's social media accounts. Second point is actually what I am trying to get you to shoot after, right? So ran company's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts by scheduling weekly posts using Hootsuite, increasing engagement by 25% each week. That gives me a lot of context. It shows that you did well and you're using best practices, you're using the right tool, and that it's making a difference in your company. One thing that I would say that's relatively weak here is it doesn't really tie to what's called the macro objective. So this is the overall objective of your marketing efforts. It can be brand awareness, it can be conversion rates, right? Or conversions. So if you can tie this number, this engagement metric, to the bigger number, that would be fantastic. But if this is the best you can do, sometimes this will suffice. This is definitely more powerful than ran company's social media accounts just by itself. Let's take a look at the next one. Manage company's website. Okay, how about this? Manage company's WordPress site by uploading new content weekly, resulting in generating a 5% conversion rate on average. And then let's move on to the third one. Operated Salesforce CRM to manage customer data. Okay, tell me more. Operate Salesforce CRM to manage customer data and execute email drip campaigns yielding 5 new leads each week. Boom, there you go. So that's really what you're going for. And now let's actually go through an interactive exercise. What I want you to do now is, I hope you're taking notes, but you can also go back and watch this again. Let's look at your resume on your own. Obviously, I don't have your resume here with me, and kind of break down these major sections and decide if you need to correct it or not. How do you know? Let's walk through a few checklists that I created for you to kind of think about. In your objective in your profile section, does it cover these things? Does it show why you're a good fit? Does it look like it's targeted to the company, the hiring manager, and does it add value? So this is a point that I should have brought up earlier. Adding value, everything you do should add value. What does that mean? That means that it should be sort of like a favor to the reader that the way that you created your resume, that it's gonna give them the information they need, it's gonna be easy for them to read, easy for them to make a decision. So highlight why you're a good fit is the first point. You want to say, yeah, like Sally, I'm an entry-level digital marketer, I have these skills. Personalize, and this is where you can say, and I love to work for Google because I'm looking to break into the account management role at Google to continue to help you guys be even more successful in maintaining a customer satisfaction rate of 98%. Of course, that's way personal. If you know that is an example. And then adding value, by doing that, you kind of you already told them in your profile what you want to do and what you want to do for them and why you might be a good fit. That helps them make a decision. So let's move on to the next part. Experience. Remember, this is the same framework I shared with you a while ago. Tell the reader what you did. And the reason why I put holistically here is because sometimes you did a lot of things at your company, but what really matters, like if you can piece all of it together, what was the major impact you made? Highlight your relevant tools as well. These are the things that, if you're using HubSpot, Salesforce, Hootsuite, definitely highlight that. If it's not relevant, then I wouldn't really focus too much on it. And then, of course, the major impacts, what I already sort of covered. Skills, same idea as a while ago. List your skills, have fluff, remove it. Like it was a Microsoft Office example, and sometimes people put like leadership and stuff on there. I think that will come across as in your interview, or if you say in your description that you led a team of 5 or 10 people, that kind of comes across. So that's a quick overview. What I think you should do as a next step now is to really answer these questions. When can you have a fully updated and optimized resume for sharing with employers? The thing here is you need to set deadlines for yourself. You need to be realistic with yourself, and when you're able to plan that way with milestones, you know, maybe that framework I share where there's objectives and stuff, you'll be able to say, okay, well, it's going to take me, you know, this long to complete my objective section, including revisions and sharing with you know, me if you're working with me. Otherwise, you know, somebody that you trust. So this is the next step for you.